Hello, my name is Dylan Bunnell, and I'd like to welcome you to the Keeping Company podcast, where today we are joined by two special guests. We have Mr. Vincent Phipps and then John Bentley joining us here. And what we're talking about is the Thrive Conference that's taking place in Chattanooga. I'm going to spoil you the details and let them talk about it, but the company you keep is proud to be the presenting sponsor, the premium sponsor of this event coming up in a few weeks. So we thought it'd be great to bring these gentlemen in and talk about it. So first off, to both of you, thank you for taking the time to join us here in studio. Vincent, I know you're traveling down from Chattanooga, John from Hartselle, so a little shorter drive. So appreciate you taking the time with us here today.
Well, thank you, Dylan, and thank you for the company you keep for being one of our sponsors. Always great to be affiliated with such professionals such as yourself. So thank you for the support and the opportunity. On May the 15th, we're doing an unprecedented event that's called Thrive Chattanooga. We're bringing in a plethora of experts from all over the country to encapsulate all dynamics of personal empowerment, development, education, imposter syndrome, and how to grow your business. So we're doing this not just for the community, but for those who are wanting to be more affiliated with professionals. So if you are wanting a day of empowerment where you are motivated and educated and rejuvenated, we hope that you join us at Thrive Chattanooga.
Well, I'll be there after hearing that, and I know John Bentley will be there. So
Absolutely.
So John, talk about your involvement here with this thing that's going on. We're certainly going to visit more details, but just you personally and getting involved.
Sure, and thanks for having us again and being a premium sponsor. Vince and I were having lunch in Chattanooga, my favorite restaurant, Sugar's Ribs, and we got to thinking, wouldn't it be great to bring a conference together in a city where people who are seeking professional and personal growth just to become better, to overcome some of the thoughts in their minds, the struggles that they're facing, and it blossomed from there. That was June a year ago, and then look at us today on May 15th. It's coming to fruition, and I couldn't be happier to be there in Chattanooga and serve people and partner with Vincent and all the speakers we're bringing in.
Well, it's going to be a great time. We're excited to be there. We'll actually be live on location recording. I'm certain we'll have you guys on and sit down and have more of a conversation to talk about your personal journeys, because there are people that are going to be interested in that. But talking more about the conference, and he mentioned kind of how it came to life. Vincent, give it your perspective on building this thing, and as the master of ceremonies of the deal, just your vision behind it and what you're excited about, and as people are listening and hopefully registering as they're listening to this. Just educate us a little more on how this came to be.
John and I are both business owners and professional speakers, and I've had the pleasure and the honor of giving about 4,000 presentations. One of the things that I've noticed that conferences usually have is one of two things. They either have fuel, which means motivation, hype, enthusiasm, joy, but there's no follow-through. Or they have tools, strategies, implementations, approaches, but it was dry. The thing that we want for Thrive Chattanooga is an incorporation of both of those synergies, or fuels and tools. So it will be empowerment, it'll be fun, it'll be engaging, but also practical, and there will be implementation strategies. So Thrive Chattanooga is going to be a synergy of both worlds of conferences.
Beautiful. That is, I keep hearing this, and I've known about it, but I'm more and more excited. I know John is one of our speakers, and we'll highlight you a little bit there. But if there are any more, and I know we don't want to leave anybody out, but if, just to give people an idea of who they're going to be hearing from, maybe not so much by name, but just different industries.
Oh, we
want
to mention their names, and John, please, if I mess up a name, I don't want to include any. We're going to miss somebody. I hope we don't. We're going to have a woman who is named Brianna Garza. She is the owner of Chat Taste Tours, one of the top food tours in the country. We're going to have Lisa Crawford, who is an expert in customer service and engagement. We're going to have Ken Hartley, who is also a certified speaking professional, who incorporates illusions and magic with his presentations. We're also going to have Tamara Stewart, who's going to talk about how to maximize your opportunities as a martyr in your business to make sure that you're working in your business and on your business. We're going to have Donnie Ferguson, who is out of Atlanta. He'll be one of our speakers to address the impact of how purpose is so instrumental in making sure that you're bringing value to others. We're going to have Margaret Hodges, who is an expert on how to turn pain into power. She's also the author of a book called Down and Dirty to 180 Degrees, a mother's memoir on domestic violence. We also will have Don Jacques, who will talk about the importance of addressing syndromes that keep us from our professional best. Who am I leaving out, John?
Ben Parvey.
Ben Parvey,
out of
thank
New
you.
Jersey,
Thank you, Ben
remember right.
Parvey,
Yep.
out of New Jersey. He is an attorney that will talk about the importance of how our environment and our self-esteem and our surroundings and family all should be incorporated with running a business, because if you choose to be a business owner, Ben's going to talk about how does that involve your kids? How does that involve your significant others? How does that involve your own time? What about burnout? Who else we might be
Samantha
missing?
Sutherland. On
Oh, my
marketing.
goodness.
Come on now.
Come on. It was good. Samantha Sutherland is going to be one of the queen masterminds behind it. She's going to talk about entrepreneurialism and how to grow your business using a multitude of entities of technology and written communication and verbal communication, how sales pitches impact the productivity of an expert over an entrepreneur. Did we get everybody?
John Bentley, that guy. Don't forget him.
I guess we can talk about
There's
him.
this guy named John Bentley who's going to be our closer. When I first met John, there were a group of expert speakers, and John was there to be the mediator. I was one of those speakers in the room, and I was just captivated because some of the people in the room did not believe in growth or empowerment. Some did. John came in and strategically navigated a room full of headstrong, accomplished speakers. And I'm thinking, if there's anybody who I want to emulate, it will be John, because that's how you handle conflict, resolve issues, and still stay on task. So I'm thinking, after this meeting, I want to meet this man, and I'm honored that we're partnering with Thrive for the first time together.
Well, let's not spoil too much, but after that setup, you have to give our audience here some idea of kind of how you've got to this point. And I don't want you to spoil the story too much, but if you would enlighten us with what got you to the point to be able to have those impacts on people as you're sharing.
Well, I won't share my signature story, but I'll tell you this. Have any of you ever had someone give you feedback in a truthful and kind way that fundamentally shifted how you looked at life?
That's a heavy question there.
That's what happened to me in my 10-year anniversary in the Air Force. And what I discovered is that when you can't lead yourself, you don't earn the right to lead others. You're going to struggle, be frustrated, and limit your opportunities for success. And that started a journey of me looking within. So over that, what I've come to understand is I got to lead me first. And when I do, self-leadership then is the bedrock, the foundation, the cornerstone for any other leadership you're going to do, leading others, making decisions, overcoming tough situations. And I'm going to share 3 tips in my Thrive On speech, the closing, that are going to help people take charge of their emotions, show up in a way that people want to be with them and support them. And then the last one is we're going to teach them a concept called feed forward. So when I'm stuck and I want to learn something, here's a quick tool on how I can get what I need to know right now so I can continue on my path of solution and making an impact on others.
That's beautiful. I mean, I want to keep digging and have you tell more here, but we got to have a reason for people to show up. And which, hearing the guest list or the speaker list you went down, there's something for everyone, so there's
Absolutely.
no excuse not to be there.
Mm-hmm.
I want to dig in more, and this might touch your story a little bit, because I've listened to you talk about this thing now, and your passion just pours out.
Well, thank you, John.
So what's your why behind this project? You've explained what it is, but ultimately there's usually a catalyst that leads to solutions, and you've provided an excellent solution here for a lot of problems. Just tell me the story a little bit of how, what in your past has got you to this point.
At some point, Dylan, you have to die before you can live. I broke my neck and almost died. I had the same type of vertebrae break as Christopher Reeve, and that took him from us, but I was able to recover. During my recovery, I was able to get cards and letters from people who were just motivated by me helping them with their interview skills or with improving their presentations or just building confidence. I was one of those weird kids that enjoyed show and tell. I liked reading the announcements, so I never knew that it was such an anxiety-driven mechanism for people to speak in public. I found it comfortable and easy. I was encouraged to use this second life, to use gifts or strategies and skills and help other people. When I realized the impact, when I was in my neck brace on the bed, couldn't move, my mother came in and they were able to come to my nursing room, and my parents were there, my girlfriend back then, wife now. They were saying they didn't know which room I was in, and all the nurses kept saying, just follow the sound of laughter. And when I walk into when I'm in the room, my parents walk in, my mom's in tears, and my mom asked my surgeon, Dr. Gallagher, they said, is my son going to be okay? And I'm in the neck brace laying there, and Dr. Gallagher, he said, Miss Phipps, we don't know if he'll walk. We don't know if he'll be able to eat without a tube, but his mouth will be just fine.
That's fun.
And I agree with that.
And then, as a living proof, here we are. So that
Yeah.
doctor knew what he was talking about a little
Yes, sir,
bit.
Dylan.
So, and I'm thankful that it's more than just your mouth that works. And
Oh,
so
thank
it's
you,
not
sir.
certainly a gift, but to have your body here
Thank
is
you.
such a miracle.
It's
And
an
we
honor.
appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you.
You know, and I'll let both of you speak on this a little bit. John, maybe more specific to just your piece, but
Okay.
to the event as a whole. Certainly, everyone takes different things from different experiences. But what, as you think about, we're sitting here way before May the 15th, and you're thinking about that individual who maybe is just learning about this event right now, registers, decides to come. What do you hope they'll leave from the event with?
A firm belief in themselves. Not that they don't believe in themselves. Now, you asked Vincent about his why. What I chose to learn was to look in the mirror and recognize I have greatness in me, which required me to rewrite my story of you're not good enough. No matter what you do, you're not going to succeed. So I was constantly striving to prove that, and I had to do it over and over and over again. So business owners are going to make mistakes. The employees they lead are going to make mistakes. Those mistakes are not making you or them a failure. It's that opportunity to learn from it so you can become better. You see, adversity doesn't have to suck. Adversity doesn't have to suck when I lean into it and say, what's the lesson for me to learn here so I can stay on the path of becoming who I've been designed to be. So if that leader or that business owner, that entrepreneur, that professional in an organization, if they've got a story in their mind, some people call it imposter syndrome. If they got a story in their mind that continues to cause them to slip or trip, we want to help them rewrite that story. So when they go back, they're not only fueled and on fire, they're passing that on to the people that they impact and lead.
That's wonderful. And then from the experience as a whole, what, same question to you and what people can take away when they walk out of the door.
We want people to know, Dylan, that excellence has no ethnicity and greatness has no gender. If people go to our registration website at thrivechattanooga.vip, they're going to see a plethora of different types of speakers, all ages, all races, all backgrounds, all belief systems. But each of them is in that room on stage to disseminate knowledge with everyone else. So it doesn't matter what has been your path that get you to Thrive Chattanooga. The speakers there are to help you cultivate your message so that you can go forward no matter who you are or what you look like.
Man, again, I feel like I said it earlier, this is a place for everybody. But it really, in my mind here, I'm like, all right, you could come from this walk of life or that walk. I mean, there's no real, there's not a stopping point on the net you guys are trying to cast. And I appreciate that because I feel like sometimes in this world, it gets very selective and, well, you must be in this executive rank or you must be in this. So kudos to you guys for opening that up to just anyone who's interested in learning. And so, you mentioned the website, which will be linked here and people can go find, but what some other things they're researching, obviously digging into the individuals, what other type of information can they find there? Registering there happens as well.
We want to be very prodigious in our efforts, and thank goodness to brainchilds like Samantha and to John Bentley, who were just able to make the website very engaging. We have links there, so if you want to come early for Thrive Chattanooga, we have a link on what's to do in the city. We have a drop down of not just the speakers and their images, but also a synopsis of their message and what it will encapsulate. We have an agenda that will be included. So for those who are very structure oriented, like my wife, that needs to know what's going to come next, they can follow along.
Yeah.
We're mentioning local community supporters, such as our caterer, who is Chef Cornelius Latham, who will be providing our food. We have a masseuse that will be on site, that will be doing hand and chair massages. So we want to make sure that when you go to that website, there's no mystery about what you're going to get. It is an experience. So we want to use that website as the menu. When you walk in, what's time to eat?
Well, if you don't see me in the chair recording podcast, I might be getting a massage. So that's good to know.
They'll be going around. You got it.
Sign up for that already.
You got it.
So we've talked about here the benefits that someone who attends this conference is going to get between hearing inspiring stories and leaving with that confidence and receiving a massage. What are maybe some other things that, because I know there's a list of many more, and maybe some that we want to leave hidden so you can show up and be surprised, but some other things that people who register for this conference can expect to receive?
So well-being is a critical part of our conference, and for us in general, with what's happening in the world today and the fast pace, we want you to leave with an updated business headshot so you can showcase who you are. And on top of that, we want to create something called Learning on Demand for the people that are attending. And what that is, you're going to have lifetime access to every speaker's video, where not only can you watch it and go back and learn, you can share it with your team as well, and y'all can learn together.
Oh my gosh, what a great thing. So it's not, I mean, obviously you want to capture everything in the moment, but if you don't, you have the ability to go back and man, that's a tremendous. Are there any other things that you'd want to tease that people might get to experience or might receive as a part of this conference?
Absolutely, Dylan. Unlike most conferences that seem to be very consolidated and pressed on time, this is going to be a full day event. So it's not just a 1 hour or a half day. We will have breaks allocated throughout the day. So there will be a plethora of opportunities for engagement and networking and meeting other people, sharing your business cards, having display tables. So no one has to feel rushed. You can engage as much as you need to with other people. You can walk up to the speakers. There's no huge stage that's separating. We want to have inclusion for this event. So bring your business cards, bring your QR codes, bring your phones, your handshakes, your fist pounds, your high fives, and come ready to not just feed by giving knowledge, but also to be fed, to be the recipient of knowledge as well.
Can't wait. It's going to be a blast.
There'll be giveaways throughout the day, too.
All
We're gonna have
right.
gift cards, and the grand prize at the end, got to be present to win, 65-inch Samsung HD Smart TV.
There we go. Can't have enough big screens in the house. So they must be present to win.
There'll be swag bags.
I will be
everybody.
there for
You get
certain.
to
So
get
I'll
your swag bag in your TV.
There you go. Leave with a television. Well, that's great.
We're not doing Thrive so we do something. We're doing Thrive to help others do more for others.
Man, well there we go. Well, that's
Amen.
It's hard not to end on that. That's a beautiful word, and safe travels. You guys going back again May the 15th in Chattanooga, Tennessee. You can hear more of John's story, which is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get to spend more time with Vincent, and then the long list of everyone else. So visit the website and register right now. You can do that right now. There's a literal QR link right here that you can register with. So click it, come hang out with us. We'll put you on stage and record a podcast with you. So I appreciate you letting us guys come in and not just be sponsors, but do this deal here and hopefully share more inspiring things. So
ThriveChattanooga.vip.
there we go. Well, we'll see you guys soon. Take care.